We are in December. It is finally that time of year where I can start to share some festive content with you. And you know something? Christmas here in Italy looks quite a lot different to Christmas back in London, where I come from. And in today's video, I'm going to share with you some of those differences because do you know what? When you decide to move to another country, you have to do a lot of adapting and you have to change many aspects of yourself. And it's so important that you have a strong why to help you to navigate some of those changes. And if you are thinking of moving to Italy in 2025 or even beyond, then my completely free email course where I help you to discover your real why for moving to Italy is going to help you out a lot. Click up here in the link and it will take you through to that course. And starting from Monday, every single day, you will have an email from me for 5 days, helping you to uncover your why for moving to Italy, as well as helping you to mentally prepare you for your move here. Because I truly believe that had it not been for my strong why, I probably would not still be sitting here 6 years later. So with that said, when it comes to Christmas, there are some key differences, starting with the date the Christmas tree goes up. Now, in the UK, the Christmas tree can go up pretty much whenever people feel like it. Some people will do it in November. That's me. Other people will do it the first week in December. It really depends on the person and what they want to do. Here in Italy, though, the tradition is that the Christmas tree will go up on the 8th of December. And this is a tradition because it coincides with the Feast of the Immaculata, and it is a traditional day when all the Christmas trees in people's homes and also in public spaces will be put up and switched on with the lights. Now, I break tradition every year, and I have done so for the past 6 years because this beautiful tree here has been up since around the middle of November. Because I just kind of think Christmas is like one time a year, it goes super quickly, and I like to enjoy the decorations in the build up and the run up to Christmas. Because, you know, after Christmas, it's still nice to have them up, but it's not quite the same. And, you know, for this reason, I feel to put it up just 2 weeks before, I don't know, I don't think I get to appreciate it as much as I do, having had it up now for like, you know, nearly a month. So for this reason, I break tradition, but that is how it is done here in Italy. And I have to be honest, in recent years, I've noticed other people breaking tradition as well. A lot of people have their decorations up already or are slowly starting to put them up. So I don't think that every family still adheres to this, but certainly in the public spaces and in kind of more traditional families, this is the date when the Christmas tree will go up. The second major difference is that I don't send Christmas cards. Like, this is so different to the UK. Like, the UK has this wonderful tradition where, you know, you will write Christmas cards to friends and family and you will post them and then you will hand them up in your home and they form part of your decorations. It's not really a thing here in Italy. In fact, sending greeting cards of any kind is not really a thing unless you're giving money to somebody. It's strange and I miss it. And, you know, that is a big difference for me because there's something really beautiful about sitting down in front of like your Christmas tree with all the decorations, some Christmas music playing, just writing out Christmas cards to people you love. You know, that's a really beautiful tradition that I don't get to do here. And it is a pity. But yes, it's not a thing here at all in Italy. You won't see Christmas cards for sale. You won't see people exchanging Christmas cards. The only time when you will see cards in exchange will be if there is money inside or something similar. Okay, the third change is that Christmas presents are opened on the night of Christmas Eve here in Italy. This is totally different to the UK when it's actually Christmas Day morning when people will open their presents. So what happens generally is that on the 24th, families will gather together, and after dinner, that is usually the moment when everybody will open their presents. So kind of as close to midnight as possible. It's really different because in the UK, I remember as a child going to bed on Christmas Eve and being so excited because I really believed that, you know, Santa was coming. I was pretty young, and lo and behold, every morning on Christmas Day, I would wake up and my feet would be heavy with all the presents that had been put on the bottom of my bed. Like, that is the tradition in the UK. Christmas Day morning is when we open our presents, not on the night of Christmas Eve. So that has been something for me to get used to because leading into the next point, it almost feels like Christmas Eve is more special than Christmas Day. And, you know, families will come together on both days, but there's something about Christmas Eve which feels like it's more important than Christmas Day itself. Christmas Day is of course really special, but because you're not opening presents on Christmas Day, I don't know, it kind of, the essence is different. I definitely feel like the night of the 24th is where a lot more attention is placed here in Italy compared to the UK, where it's usually the reverse. Now, when it comes to Christmas cakes, here lies another difference, because in the UK we have quite a few traditional Christmas cakes. We have mince pies, we have Christmas pudding, we have Christmas cake itself, and then we also have things like Yule logs as well, which we can all enjoy over the Christmas period. Now, I'm gutted because I cannot get mince pies here in Italy unless I want to pay an arm and a leg from the companies that import them from the UK that are based here in Italy. But, you know, I have made my own in the past and they were pretty delicious. But these are the traditional cakes that we will eat in the UK for Christmas. Here in Italy, it is different. We don't have any of those. We tend to have panettone and pandoro, which, well, there is always a classic debate because Italians generally are either team Pandoro or team Panettone. It's usually one of the two, but these are the traditional Christmas cakes and they are delicious. You can get them with many different fillings, including pistachio and chocolate, and you can get really fancy, elegant ones. In fact, I think it was last year I saw a Dolce & Gabbana panettone. So there you go, even designer ones too. The next kind of difference is that there is no turkey that is eaten here in Italy on Christmas Day. Christmas Day lunch for me pretty much resembles a normal Italian lunch with just a lot more food. Like, you will have pasta for sure, you will have maybe a second, usually a meat-based dish or something similar, it depends on the family, and lots of side dishes, but no turkey, no roast potatoes, no cranberry sauce and stuffing. It's super different. It's a very different Christmas lunch and it's delicious. But turkey for me is always like the staple Christmas food, and you don't have that here at all. Christmas Eve, the tradition is to eat fish, particularly if you're religious. Sometimes we stick to this, sometimes we don't. But this is it, not one bit of turkey in sight. And for me, that can be difficult sometimes because I always associate Christmas with that particular type of meat. Now, tied into that is the way that we decorate the tables for Christmas here in Italy. There are no Christmas crackers here. So in the UK, we have this tradition where for Christmas dinner, you will have a Christmas cracker, which you will pull with the person next to you or somebody around the table, and inside there is a little hat, a joke, and often a toy. And you can get some really nice gifts depending on how much you pay for the crackers themselves. But this is not a thing here. Now, again, I can import them from the companies that buy them from the UK, but you always pay so much more than you would if you were in the UK itself. But that's like a tradition, like that is definitely something you would have on the table in the UK for Christmas, but it's not the case here in Italy. They don't exist. And so that's something else that's missing from the Christmas dinner table. The other major difference is that on the 26th, which is known as Santo Stefano here in Italy, but Boxing Day in the UK, the Christmas sales, they don't begin here in Italy on that day. So in the UK, that is the start of the sales. In fact, they're even called Boxing Day sales. That is when a lot of companies will start discounting their products if they haven't already started, you know, on Christmas Eve, for example. Whereas here in Italy, it is just a rest holiday day. Sales here really do begin in January, and they also begin in different regions at different times. This is kind of like a national policy that they have, but it is not possible for stores to make their own decision as to when they run the January sales. It has to be done at a regional level. So this is something else that is really, really different, because it is customary, and it used to be customary for people to be queuing up outside some of the big shops like Next in the UK on Boxing Day, like morning, like 4 a.m, 5 a.m, to get some of the best deals. I feel like now it's probably changed a bit because people tend to shop more online, but it isn't like that here in Italy. The sales here really don't begin until January. They really are January sales. So these are some of the differences that I have noticed, having spent many Christmases here in Italy. I think with anything in life, it is about adapting to that change. And talking about adapting, by the way, somebody commented on my last video and they were like, "Is that a spatula you're holding?" Yes, it is. And the reason is because I needed a holder for my microphone and I was tempted to go and buy one, but I was like, well, this is not like a news show. I don't need to look like super professional. I'm just here having a chat with you about life in Italy. And I was like, well, you know, I've got this spare spatula. It looks pretty cool. And also it's food related. I'm in the country of food. It seemed perfect. So yes, adapting. There we are. The whole theme of this video. You've got to adapt to different things and you've got to get used to them. And I feel like I've adapted to Christmas here. I do recognise there are differences, but I've adapted to it. And as such, I tend to enjoy them rather a lot. I'll see you in the next video.